Welcome to this channel. The channel is for educations and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in the past few days, I have shared many things on what is the short strike Wing Chun, the breathing, the handling of the core, and so forth. And due to that, I have received quite a few messages asking me different type of questions, range from chi to what is the authentic short strike of Wing Chun. So today I like to respond to all these questions, and this is supposed to serve as an education, not about I'm the grandmaster, I'm the authentic, I know it all. Because in this channel, it is for educations and culture. We want to present what is the reality, the truth of the Chinese civilizations or culture. And so everybody be able to benefit from it. So the idea is very different than today's. Uh, it is a business in Chinese Kung Fu, marketing, or selling. So the notion is that I just hope that there are people out there who watch this channel get the answer of what they are looking for. Of course, I have to spend decades to get here. So just hope that you don't have to spend decades to get here. And you don't need to be a grandmaster, but at least you know what is the truth, what is possible that you can develop, the skill you can own if you put time on it. Now, the first thing I like to share with you on the tragic of Chinese culture in past 100 something years is that most of the Qigong today are fake. Those talk about qi, those talk about mindfulness, those talk about Zen, they are fake. Now, when I'm saying that they are fake, it is not that I condemn all this thing. It is I want to mark or draw a line for you so that if you are serious, you never want to get into those things. So, in the authentic study of the Chinese Buddha's teaching, the Taoist, the martial arts, we need to be careful on the term attainment or achievement. So, in all this Kung Fu, meditation, Qigong, Zen, you always have the what you study and what you attain or what you achieve. You study something properly, you will achieve or attain something. It is cause and effect. Now, In today's world, the first thing you can see in past 100 something years in the Chinese uh, circle in terms of Qigong, internal art, Zen, Buddhism, and all this kind of thing, as you can read in Tang Hao's writing, 1930, the study and attain or study or achieve have already broken apart. You can see people make claim on what they achieve, but they don't know what is they need to study in order to achieve what they claim to be. So it end up like today. If you talk about Wing Chun, everybody love to have their own Wing Chun. They live in their own world of Wing Chun. And that world of Wing Chun, actually, it is not the same world as the ancient Wing Chun or Chinese Kung Fu, where you have what you study and what you achieve. Okay, so same with Wing Chun, same with this. For example, today people love to talk about the Qigong, the micro orbit. You look at it, everybody have their own stories. Everybody have their own speculations, but none of them can show you what you study lead to what you attain or what you achieve. So those are just living in their own dream. Okay? Oh, my Wing Chun has to be this way, in this. My Qigong is this. My style of meditation is this. My style of mindfulness is this. So if you look into the Chinese culture today, in terms of Qigong, meditation, Zen, and Kung Fu, Wing Chun, or Tai Chi, you can see all those different world or bubble that people create, people who claim themselves as a grandmaster, and they create their own bubble world there. And that bubble world is not the world we live in. Okay? The ancient world, since General Qi Ji Guang time, it is living in the same world as today's MMA world, today's this real world, be it in America, in Europe, in Indonesia. It is the same world. But all this bubble world is not living in that same world. That's why you got all kind of problem. So let's take an example on the Qi micro orbit. In the micro orbit, one really important thing is one need to achieve achieve the mind and breathing mutual dependent, or the mind and the breathing mutual dependent, or synchronization. In Chinese it's called 心喜相依. Only when you get into the 心喜相依, that state, mind and breathing synchronization or mutual dependent, then warm sensation be able to show up, or the chi will show up. in the lower dantian, or the warm feeling, which is a symbol of the development of the qi, or the neurosing of the qi will grow up in the lower abs. And that continue on. After you achieve that, it will flow through your body to complete that micro orbit. But if you look at today, disregard of who writing a book about micro orbit, who make a video on micro orbit, they never tell you on this uh, mind and the breathing mutual dependent, which is written clearly in uh, the Secret of Golden Flower, that book. So whenever people talk about the micro orbit, Qigong, as soon as they never uh, mention the mind and breathing mutual dependent, that basic step, you know they are just in hallucinations. Oh, I visualize, I have chi, I have this. Come on. The reality is you have to have the mind and breathing mutual dependent. And then the energy will nourish in your body. And then you will feel like there's a warmness there. And then the warmness grow, and then the flow of the warmness started. You don't even have to think, you don't even have to visualize. So that's the proper thing. But today you look at it is everybody have their 5 cents. Now, when we want to talk about the mind and breathing mutual dependent, under that or the base of that is the proper breathing. How you tune your breath. How you tune your breath. Actually, how to tune your breath is very difficult. If you know how to tune your breath properly, to get into the mind and breathing synchronizations or mutual dependent will be not difficult. So to develop that micro orbit style will not be difficult. Or if you know how to tune your breathing up to the mind and breathing synchronize, to develop the Buddhist mindfulness will not be difficult. To get into samadhi, different state of samadhi will not be difficult. At least you be able to taste what is samadhi. We are not talking about something deep, but at least, hey, we know what it is. We have experienced what it is. Now the problem is today, you look around the world, how many, when they talk about internal, when they talk about the chi and all this thing, how many of them know how to tune the breath? So if you don't know how to tune your breath, you are not going to be able to achieve the breathing and the mind synchronize. And all bets are off. All bet is off on your mindfulness or on your chi development. Forget about it. It's just bullshit. Okay? You don't get it because you don't have that training to get your body into the state of the internal. So that's why Tang Hao, in his book, it was written that in 1930s, Tang Hao is questioning all these Tai Chi people. How many of them be able to describe what is breathing? Everybody talk about Qi and so forth. So this is a problem since hundreds of years ago, but the solution is there. The difficulties is the solution is there, but you have 90% of bullshit. So people who really want to study have no idea what is going on. But then if they step one step wrong into it, they waste too much. And then they start to have this grandmaster title. And at that point, they cannot turn back. They're going to continue to bullshit down. That is what the tragedy is. Did they know that they never got it? At first they know, and the end they are going to hypnotize themselves, saying that no, they are right. But they don't know all this, the breathing, the mind and breathing, uh, mutual dependent state. They have no idea. So for example, the six core element I always mention, when you get into the chi element, the first thing you need to go is you need to get into the mind and breathing mutual dependent. You look around in the world today, how many so-called grandmaster using my six core element even written the book have ever get into the state of the breathing and mind mutual dependent state? They never. They never get into it. But they continue to preach, to market themselves as some kinds of grandmaster, some expert. But to check them is simple. You just check their breathing. They couldn't even do the breathing. They don't even know how to tune their breath. So you know that they'll not be able to get into the uh, the the breathing and the mind mutual dependent, like the in the book of Secret of the Golden Flower. The ancient is right. It's the people right now. They don't know what it is, but they create all this bubble delusion, their world. So everybody had their student, the follower, is believing or living in that bubble. Same with Chinese martial art, same with Qigong, same with the Buddhism. That's why Xi Xiaodong actually doing Chinese culture a good job. He breaking all this bubble of Tai Chi, breaking the bubble of Wing Chun. You cannot blame him because you really are helpless if you're keeping living in that bubble. Of course, like last week, uh, a seafood told me, Hendrik, people will hate you. Well, how many people is going to waste their life if they don't know this? And again, as what I said, what I'm sharing here is education. I have no intention to step down on people. I just tell you that, hey, your path is not going to San Francisco. Your path is going to Las Vegas. The directions, you never get to San Francisco. And you might even not get to anywhere but end up in the desert. Okay? Now, you speak of the tuning the breathing. Well, I'm showing you the other day with this on handling your muscle here. And also I have shown you that using that pelvic floor muscle tools so that You're aware of this thing. Well, that is really critical for your physical element because if you need to activate from waist down, from core down, you need to know, aware of different parts of your body. Also, you need to know how things related to each other. Like for example, you contract your abdomen. You need to know how is that related to your oblique muscle and also your, say, your buttocks muscle. Because all those body's muscle, they work together. They are not individual. Okay? Now, if you don't train with that to loosen up, to aware of your this the young side of muscle, you don't train with that pelvic floor tools to aware of your pelvic floor here, the muscle here, including your balls here, your lower abs, your butt, your thigh. You don't aware of this. How are you supposed to handle your lower part of the body? You can. And on in additions, all this were related to your breathing, your tuning of your breath, because that related to your uh, pelvic floor muscle and your diaphragm. And furthermore, it get into your handling of your intra-abdominal pressure. So you see, everything is stacked up. Your physical, are you loose enough so that you be able to breathe? That's physical. Your can you tune your breathing properly so that you be able to have proper breathing, and then also your intra-abdominal pressure if you need to handle that. And then you can get into your mind and breathing synchronizations or mutual dependent, where you develop your chi or your mindfulness to get into this samadhi. You see, it is all this layer and layer and step. The Chinese call it 次第, 次第 meaning that the step by step of the procedure. So in the ancient, you need to know the 次第, step to step, so that you can study it and then you can attain. Now, even you study it, when you get to the attainment or achievement, there are two things in the achievement or attainment. One is called similarity attainment. One is called authentic attainment. Similarity attainment. One is called authentic attainment. So what is the difference? Similarity attainment is a fake attainment. It's not attained. You actually not attain. Authentic attainment is attained. That's why those who study Qigong, Buddha's teaching, martial arts, for serious one, they always will go to the teacher or the expert who have attained to certify them, because they're afraid to get into this similar similarity, attainment, or achievement. So how is this people get trouble with the similarity, achievement, attainment? Let me share with you. For example, if you heard me talking about uh, tuning the breath, uh, breathing and mind mutual dependent, and then you can get the chi, you can feel the warmth, you can grow the chi, you can feel the warmth. If you heard me repeat, say always, but you never really train it on the process and you just mimic it, one day, probably when you sit in meditations or you practice your Xiu Lim Tao or in your Yi Kao Myung Ma, suddenly you feel that, oh, there's a warmness in my lower abs. Oh, that must be my attainment to the developing the chi. So they get into that state that they think they are in it because their mind cannot differentiate between what is the authentic and what is just what they think. Okay? Why? Because they never get into that state. Remember, the real development of Qigong internal and Kung Fu is you need to get into the state. You physiologically need to get into the state. Like in the Buddhism, you need to get into the samadhi in order to know what it is. Not just reading the Buddha Sutta and then thinking, oh, this, my interpretation, my philosophy, my concept. Now, that's why when people feel, oh, there's a hit there. For example, what happens most is people who practice the micro orbit. You have some teachers say, you keeping breathing and then you keeping exhale and then you think about that and then you get hit and then you can direct this and to warm everything like this. Those majority of it is actually creating a delusion for yourself to uh, to 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 verify your similarity, attainment, or achievement. That's not the authentic one. So that's why you need to go to a teacher. Have I gone through that? Sure. When I get into this develop with the chi in the Tantian, I get into those. The issue is I'm more lucky than most people. Financially, I'm more lucky. I be able to read the classic Chinese, and I have so many teachers. Go to the teacher say, no, quit it, stop it. Start from beginning. You don't even know how to breathe. Did I go through that? Sure. So this is reality, okay? So it is very different than today's. Everybody is a grandmaster. Everybody have their theory, their interpretations, their whatever. So I hope that you understand. You need to have the process of the procedure to study. You need to get into the authentic attainment or achievement, not so fast to jump into those I'm the grandmaster, I know it all, those kind of stuff, or my interpretation. Like a few days ago, somebody wrote me saying that, hey, Hendrik, the way how they present in the movie is just how they present it. You cannot say your is proper, their is not proper. I told them, I don't say I'm proper. I show history, evidence. So stop to get into the mind spinning argument for nonsense. Okay? So what I'm telling you until now, I might sound like whining, but please go back and listen to it carefully. Don't fall into a trap. In the Buddha's teaching, Mara, demon. Why is Mara, demon, is so dangerous? So this is the answer to it. If somebody get killed, they only get killed for one life. But if somebody get misled into their delusional world or following certain cult or certain belief, which is not real at all, then they trap there life after life. So in the Buddha's teaching, he said that if somebody kill a person, they kill him for one lifetime. But if somebody misled a person to that foul pathway, then they actually killing the wisdom life. And wisdom life meaning a long, long, long time until you meet somebody and in advanced level or in Buddha's level to point out to you, to make you uh, experience that in your physiologically saying that, hey, I'm wrong. Why do I do this? So he wake up. And it is very difficult in this world to find a teacher be able to do that. Okay? So if you want to practice Qigong or martial art or Wing Chun, remember your body has to be well conditioned. You know that it is interact together. The more you practice, you know how things interact. And then your breathing and your intra-abdominal pressure and your chi. So the six core element will show up. That's not thinking. It show up. You notice them. Okay? So I hope that this whining can help somebody, especially those who is sick, who want to train Qigong for health and so forth. And also for those who want to study martial art for self-defense, so that one be able to see things clearly without misled. Now, so let's make another example on the short strike, the authentic short strike. Authentic short strike, okay? Because there's a question for me too. And it actually linked to what I shared with you just now on the authentic uh, achievement or authentic attainment. Now, for short strike, Wing Chun, the short strike art, you all know this is called Hun Sao today. People call this Hun Sao. Okay? Well, in the truth is, in the ancient, this is not called Hun Sao. Hun Sao is a general term. This is Hun, this is Hun. Hun is making circle. The specific name of this is called Ngao Sao, hook hand, hook hand. This is called Hun, this is called open up hand. You open him up. Now, in today's world, you always see people demo on, you do say he's facing him, his hand come in, I do a Hun Sao and then I do punch. Typically like that. Punch, 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 okay? You just Hun and punch and then you change punch, something like that. Stand in this distance, hin, punch, and punch in your chi sao distance. Well, sorry to tell you, that is not short strike. That is something else. That is something else. That is not short strike Wing Chun. This Ngao Sao, the proper way of Ngao Sao, short strike, sticking body short strike. It's not standing there, try to move him with your hand and then punch him and chase him like this. No. The proper use of Ngao Sao, one example, it can be many examples. One example is, so say this is his back. Say this guy is like standing like me. This hand's like this. This is his back. This is my back, and this is my chest. So this is the chest area. If I end up in this chest area, and I'm facing him in the chest area, he throw me a punch. Okay, he throw me a punch. The Ngao Sao, the usage of the Ngao Sao is step over here, strike him. Okay, you see? You see, this is a line, right? This is chest versus chest. I use the Ngao Sao to go in, strike him on his side, and then get in. I throw him. So it is practically a walk-in, right? It is a walk-in. You never stand there now and punch. You go down here, strike him, move your leg in, because this is the hook hand is under here already. This is for a throw. So in the sticking body short strike is nobody going to stand there with a structure and so forth. From here, it cover up, it slip in to shoot. Every step it is a striking, and then it go in. It just keeping going in. That's the proper way. Okay. Same thing with this open up hand, which is called hin. Now, this is one of the application is like, again, this is my back here. So this is his back. Hin is meaning from here, smash him, okay, and then pull him down. You see, this is a big circle, like I'm outside his hand. You know, this is one hand, the other hand is here. I'm outside his hand, go in, I smash him already, and then from here I go into his back. It's in the back already. Pull him down, take him down. So in short strike is you always at every step you shoot at him for one punch or two punch or you throw him. You never go down there like this playing hand. That is short strike. That's short strike Wing Chun. So you can go up, okay, doing many other things, or you hin, you pull it back, you take him down from the back. Now pull my shoulder, elbow, my shoulder behind like that. So this is the short strike art. Every step, it never stop there and punch in a straight line. And by the way, you see, even when I do this, my center line is always targeting his center line. When I do this, same. I never leave him center line, but I don't have to go straight. Same thing. My center lines go with him and strike with this hin sao. And when I pull him down, my center line is target is his center line from the behind. So for the short strike, you have to be fluent on it. You have to be fluent on how you the entry. And of course, your entry, you can get your leg, like even like your hin sao, you can attack from the leg to the back of the leg or to the side of the leg. So in the 1850s, 小聯頭決 he said, 圈 come Q tap. You always need it. That's how you enter in. It's not your tan bong fu. Okay? So it's a tan fu. You store it in the in the silence. Tan and fu store in the silence. Hyun kam Q tap. Always using it. That's how it is. Okay? It is very mobile type of art. And of course you have to be really fast. Okay? So you fight this way, you'll be like a jiu-jitsu friend, they'll fight jiu-jitsu way. That's the short strike way. You strike, or in the ngao sao, if you don't want to do the throw, you hit him this way, your leg in, attack him, this thing coming in. You have all kind of change, but it's always concede without concession. From middle to side, from side to side, always keeping moving, from side throw, back throw, all this kind of thing. Now, go back to this. To activate your back of your body, the yang side. Activate this thing with the clamp for muscle tools. Otherwise, how can I use it? Right? How can I use this kind of thing? And there's a lot of change here I can play. If you don't have that, you practically your lower part of body is dead. So this is what I'd like to share with you today. It is a tragic that Chinese Kung Fu, be it in meditation, Qigong, Wing Chun, and all other Kung Fu or Tai Chi even, end up like this today. In Asia, since 1930, Tang Hao raised it, and Ma Li Tang raised it, tried to reform. It cannot reform. You know it's over. In America, can we fix it? I don't know. My job is just to tell you, like Horatio tell you the story of Hamlet. Who can reform it is you. Probably you will do it. Probably not. But I'm just doing my job as Horatio, telling you the story of Hamlet. Once upon a time, this is what happened. And also, Xin Qi Ji Guang. Everything is keeping evolve to be more complex and more in-depth. Even like in the medicines, did the Chinese have like today's be able to say check your blood sugar? They don't, right? Can the Chinese check for your white blood cell and red blood cell? They don't. So you don't want to think about like the ancient is ultimate. Whenever you heard anything from a grandmaster, or you read something from the ancient China, you always have to question. That is the proper way. It is not disrespect, it is to question it. so that you be able to see the reality and develop it if it is real. You can question on me on everything what I tell you in this video. I can share with you all the evidence and you can experience on all this thing. That is not putting me down. That is not disrespecting me. It's like when we are in high school, if we don't understand it, we need to ask the teacher. Asking the teacher is actually respecting the teacher, not disrespect the teacher. Because the bottom line is, without that, you cannot pass the knowledge down. So you rather to know the short strike is orders or every day for decades. Wing Chun. Which one you rather to see? Which one you rather to learn? When you're facing your friend in MMA, which one you rather to have developed?